What's up, world? It's your guy, TunedinTony, and today I got a very special guest, my guy, Will Rivera from Ecom Degree University.
5 years ago, I was working at the Amazon warehouse making around $11 an hour. This month, we're at already $627,000 in revenue.
That this man is about to break down. There shouldn't be no more broke on the world.
This is a friend that I met a year ago, and I like to call him a unicorn because I feel like the mass amount of success that I've seen you achieve, just being a regular guy, you know, not being like the normal type of person you would see like here in Atlanta, like super flashy. He's a super humble guy, and I just feel like this is a great example of somebody that you guys should be watching, modeling after when it comes to success. And I just literally heard that this guy did $1 million in revenue for his business last month, which is crazy. So just let us know like a little bit about what you're doing right now, and then I'm gonna fill you guys in on the backstory about who Will is.
Right. So again, my name is William Rivera. I run a company called Ecom Degree University, where basically I teach people how to make money online with Amazon, FBA, FBM, or Shopify dropshipping. That company has grown like crazy fast just because of the results we've been able to get. And, so we do free live trainings where I teach people how to get into it. And then we give them the opportunity to get into the program. So recently, just with that business model, we did $1 million last month.
That's crazy.
We're on track to do 1.5 this month. And I take all the money from my online businesses and I buy real estate with it.
Nice.
So I have a quadplex in Cincinnati. I bought my mom's house cash in Cincinnati as well. And we just closed on a 24 unit, or we're closing on a 24 unit in a week in Conyers, Georgia.
Nice.
So,
any reason for Cincinnati or just opportunity there?
So I knew I was going to buy my mom a house in Cincinnati because that's where she lives. She has a job over there. And I didn't want to have to pay the mortgage, though. So I bought the quadplex so the quadplex could pay for her mortgage.
Oh, nice. That's what's up, man. So, like, I mean, even just thinking about the fast growth that you're doing, because how long you been doing Ecom Degree University?
2018.
2018. Okay.
Right.
Are you shooting for like an Inc. 5000 or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. We're going to get that.
Okay. Have you like submitted for it and stuff?
I haven't submitted for it, but at the end of, I'll submit for it in the beginning of next year.
Okay.
And I know we'll get it.
Yeah. Once you get that, social proof will even be way crazier, man. That's awesome. So now that you're saying you're doing real estate, like I just saw on your Instagram, the 24 unit apartment complex. Is that what it is? Apartment complex? Yeah. Okay. So now that you're making all this money through the internet and then you're taking it and putting it into real assets, which is real estate, is that a nervous jump? Because a lot of people talk about, oh, you got to get into real estate, right? But to actually take your money out to your account and put it over there, what is that like?
Yeah, sending that wire, that's a different feeling, right? Just 300K
just gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I follow like a specific method for everything that I do. And, I like to learn from the best in the industry. Mm-hmm. So even when I first got into e-commerce, I learned from the best, and that's why I saw success there. Mm-hmm. When I built my program, I studied the best and learned from the best, and that's why I had success there as well. And it's the same thing with real estate. So one of my mentors, he actually has over 500 units all in Atlanta. Man. And I paid him to teach me the ropes, basically.
Right.
So that's why, within like 6 months of me paying him, now I own my own apartment complex.
And so what I'm hearing is mentorship is crazy. It's crazy important.
Mentorship is key, man, because especially when you're playing at a high level, like buying apartment buildings, one mistake could cost you more than the $25,000 I paid him, right? To teach me. So that's just a life hack for anything that you want to do, is just to pay someone that's already at the level you want to be at and learn from them. And that's how I've been able to like grow so fast.
Man, that's super important, because I always hear you either got more time than money or more money than time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you didn't have that mentor, you might still be watching a bunch of YouTube videos trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But you invested in mentorship, and it seemed like that's helped you accelerate super quick. Because you said, what, 6 months?
6 months.
Man, that's crazy. And he pretty much just showed you what to do, right?
Yeah, like took me out to his properties, and even with like talking to the lender and knowing what's a good deal, knowing what to do to the deal to like manipulate the numbers to where you can make a lot of money off the refi, and like just a bunch of things that you don't think about, legal things as well, like just crazy things that you probably won't learn on YouTube.
Right,
even if you can learn them on YouTube, like you said, it probably would have taken me like a year, maybe even 2 years before pulling the trigger and having enough confidence in myself to buy a building.
Dang, that makes sense. So where are you from?
So I was born in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
But both of my parents, they're from Nicaragua.
Okay, cool.
Central
Did you
America.
ever live in Nicaragua? Or?
No, I've never lived there, but I've visited there a couple
Okay,
times.
nice. And then before we get off the mentorship part too, because you are someone that has seen, a certain level of success, what advice would you give to people here watching, maybe they're at the ground level? Like, is it hard to get a mentor? Because sometimes it could be like they see you in a different light, you know what I mean? And they may just be more accepting of you because they feel like that you have value. So what would somebody who doesn't have that level of success, how do they get a mentor?
I mean, I would say, yeah, to get a mentor, it's probably not going to be that easy because these are busy people, right?
Right.
Like a good mentor, they're probably going to be busy. They're going to be making money, and they're going to want to only really be, they're going to want to really only help people that they see are hungry.
Yeah.
And they know you're hungry because maybe you've already achieved some type of level of success already. So they already kind of know how you operate. So I would say if you're at like the ground level, try to go to networking events and find people that may already be at a higher level than you, but not too much higher.
Yeah.
You can kind of grow with. That's kind of how I started.
Yeah.
So when I was at the ground level, I was going to networking events in my area or paying to go to like conferences that I could afford to go to. And there you're going to meet like-minded people that are trying to grow as well. And they may not be at a super high level like my mentor, but you'll find someone that may be like a similar age to you, or maybe they just started a year or 2 years ago, but they're at a higher level than you, and you guys can kind of grow together. And, you can find friendships that are also like mentors to you.
Man, that makes a lot of sense too. So also like what I'm hearing too is, and this is what I say a lot, like when people are getting started in business, you have to invest in yourself, right? So many people are feeling like they could just purchase, even if you buy a course or whatever you do, right? It's so much more execution that's needed than that, because a lot of people feel like, all right, I bought this, but this should grant me the success, right? So like when you said going to the conferences, those are super big. And what I tell people, I think you should actually invest in the $1,000 VIP ticket when you go to these conferences. The reason why, one, like you said, you want to get into these like-minded rooms with these people. So when you're at these conferences, these seminars, and you're in that VIP room, those people feel like you're supposed to be in there. Right. And then on top of that, sometimes they have it to where you can get the pictures with like the keynote speakers there. You use that for social proof and content. Next thing you know, you start seeing your brand elevating. So that's super key, you know what I'm saying? Just investing in yourself for sure.
Yeah, facts. I mean, even at like the Circle CEOs conference that just happened, I went VIP. Yeah. And I told my team to go VIP too. Yeah. Simply because of the connections and the people in the room during like the VIP mixer that they have the day before the event. Right. And really, I only went to that, and then day one, and then I didn't go to the rest of the event because I already got what I needed from the day before the event and the first day of the event.
Yeah, I mean, I saw when you walked in, you had like 3 cameramen, the whole team came over there. I would say one thing about you too that was just an inspiration for me, and this could probably be a great topic to get here, is I would say this was like the key term, and not to sound corny, but when we talk about like being a boss or whatever, your whole team looked happy. Like everybody looked excited, you know what I'm saying? So that means like you have a good culture that you're instilling in your team, because everybody walked in like they were the shit in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw on Instagram, like, oh, you probably didn't even see this, but one of your guys was editing on the spot there, you know what I'm saying? And then I see y'all eating steak and potatoes afterwards. So can you talk about just like culture with your team,
Yeah, I mean, really it's just all energy.
Yeah.
So, I like to have a positive energy, and I like to keep people around me that have even higher energy than me. So like you met my videographer, Timmy. He's like a very, very high energy individual. Right. He's also my trainer. Yeah. So just having those people around you and just always being positive, it's important when it comes to business, because business isn't always going to be sweet. Things aren't always going to be good, but if everyone's in that positive mindset, then you can push through things. So yeah, when it comes to like managing a team and everything, as long as you're treating everyone good, everyone is staying positive, and you have a mission to work towards, then that culture is always going to be tight. Got
you. And then a question just about like just your personal just how you are, right? So like you're seeing, I come from e-commerce, and this is just a generalization for anybody listening. Hopefully y'all don't get mad. There's high revenue numbers, but there's really not like always a lot of profit, right? And I'm just being truthful to everybody listening here, especially in like the clothing business. And, living here in Atlanta, we see a lot of people that are flexed out and all this. How do you stay humble with this fast success? Right. You know what I mean?
So I think the key really is that I surround myself around people that are doing way higher numbers than me.
Right.
So the only time that you're going to feel like content or you're going to feel like you're doing it big per se is when you're surrounding yourself around people that you're doing better than.
Right.
But because I'm around people like my mentor Bolden, 500 units, 80 million in real estate.
Right.
I'm around people that are also doing webinars. They've been doing $1 million a month. Right?
Yeah.
And my social media, like I really only follow people that I aspire to be like, or that are doing things that are at a high level. Like my brain is literally programmed to allow me to think that what I'm doing is not that big.
Gotcha.
Even though it may be big, like I'm looking at people like Grant Cardone.
Right.
I'm looking at people like my boy Bolden. That's 500 units. So like I'm constantly trying to work to get there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really allow me time to look at what I already have.
Yeah.
Which is a good and a bad thing.
Right.
It's like I'm overworking myself at some times, and sometimes I have to take a break.
Right.
But that's, if you ask me how I've grown so fast, it's because of that. Like I'm always on to the next goal.
Got you. I mean, that basically makes sense. So being not the biggest fish in your pond, right? And I had told some friends before you got here, I was just like, one thing that I've seen with Will is he's hanging around, like you said, like people like Bolden who have all these units. So you can't be the biggest fish in that pond and just be around people that are not doing as well as you, because that is how the flexness comes through. Because then what you start seeing is like, oh, let me just throw all this money around because I'm the big dog around here. Versus now when you're hanging around like bigger dogs than you're like, oh, I need to hold on to this because I need to be able to invest this so I can get to that level. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So dope. So let's go a little further back, right? So people, they're listening, they're hearing your success, they're trying to figure you out, right? I seen your story, like felon at 17, like where were you at 17?
So at 17 years old, and like even before that, my life was mainly just like basketball. So I played basketball kind of like all throughout high school.
Okay.
And that's really all I did every day.
Yeah.
Every single day I would either wake up, go to practice, go to school, and then go to practice again.
Yeah.
Or like that was literally just my whole life, summer basketball, everything. Then it got to a point where I wasn't playing basketball anymore.
Yeah.
So like my school literally, got a bunch of transfers in. The point guards became 6'5", and then reality hit, and I was like, oh dang,
right.
I'm not as good as these guys right here.
Yeah.
I need to figure out something else to do. And I think when that moment hit me, it's like the first thing that came to my mind was just like, I want to make money.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it was really because of the money thing. It's just like I've always been competitive.
Right.
So it's like making money to me was kind of like running up the scoreboard in sports. Like I just want to see how much I can get.
Yeah.
So ever since I turned 15 or I was at a legal age to get a job, I've always had one. Because I like to keep busy and I don't like asking my mom for things.
Right.
Because I grew up with a single mom, 2 little brothers, and I always saw her kind of struggle and work multiple jobs just to be able to give us the best life. So I never really wanted to ask her for money. So that's why I had, jobs that are at an early age. And at 17, I got in some trouble working this one job, and I'm still on probation for that too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But man, I've always been a hustler, even when I was young. And I knew from an early age that working hard didn't mean that you would make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because my mom was like the hardest worker I knew.
Right.
But that didn't equal her being rich. Right.
Right.
So I knew there was something more to being able to make a lot of money. And that's when I really put my ego to the side, and I was like, damn, like I don't have it figured out, and my family doesn't have it figured out either, because I don't see anyone in my family that's doing like something crazy. So, I want to be the first one that goes out there and acquires the information needed to execute at a high level.
Right.
And that's when I started just being open to receiving more information. So like reading books, and I didn't like reading books at the time.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, I need to read these books. I need to go to these networking events, even though at heart I'm truly an introvert. I don't really like being in rooms where I got to talk to a lot of people or like talk to people that I don't know. Yeah. But I knew that something had to change to get to that next level, because obviously the person that I am right now isn't the person that I need to be that person that I want to be. Yeah. So I was just open to change, really.
And saying that you're truly an introvert, and then seeing you at Circle of CEOs with all those cameramen, I know like you're probably thinking to yourself like, yo, who is this guy? Like back in the day, I probably never would have had the attention just on me like this. Because when you walked in, it was like, Will's here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So was that weird feeling? Like, can you feel sometimes your introvertness fighting versus this new character that you are? You know what I'm saying?
All the time, bro.
Yeah.
All the time, bro. All the time. It's like, damn, like I have those flashbacks of like, wow.
Yeah.
But I constantly remind myself like, I'm doing this because I have to.
Right.
Like this is what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like literally, I'm truly an introvert, but now this world that we're in with content. And the fact that content drives revenue to my business,
yeah,
I know it's something that I have to heavily focus on.
Yeah.
And also just always networking and like meeting new people. That's what got me to where I'm at today.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to stop. A lot of times people get to the next level and they stop doing what got them there. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I've always preached like, that's not something I'm going to do. I'm always going to keep doing what got me here.
Got you. What was your first job?
My first job was actually at Brewster's. Do you know what
Brewster's?
Brewster's is?
Yeah, I love Brewster's. Ice cream, yeah.
It's an ice cream spot. So
how old?
I think as soon as I turned 15 or 16, like the legal age to get a job, that was one of the places that hired at that young of an age. So that's the first job I got. And I lasted probably like a month or 2 months there.
Okay. Yeah. So I see that you used to work at Amazon too. And that's ironic that now you're teaching about Amazon.
Right.
So what age did you work at Amazon after the felony?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that were they just one of the people that hired someone who has a felony and you're like, let me try this out? Like
Right. Yeah. So they were like, it's a warehouse job. So they pretty much hire anybody.
Yeah.
And my shift was a 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. shift.
Oh
so
man.
It was a tough shift too. So yeah, I got that job and I was working there, and it's crazy because I didn't even have a car at the time. So basically half of my check would go to Uber. Because this job was in Jefferson, Georgia, which is like past the Mall of Georgia. If you're from Georgia, and it's like in the middle.
And where are you coming from?
And I'm coming from like Suwanee.
Yeah.
So it's like a 45-minute drive or 50-minute drive. So I'm paying Uber just to get there, working the shift, and then at 4 a.m. when I get off, I'm trying to find an Uber because there's not that many Ubers at that time to bring me back home. So it's like I literally lived that life for like 3-4 months until eventually I burned out. Because I was working from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. and then I had class because I was in college at the time at Georgia Gwinnett College, community college, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mm-hmm. So my life was literally just wake up, go to school, go to work, go to sleep, and then go to school, go to work, just doing that. And I burned out eventually. I had no social life. I didn't have time to hang out with friends. I started eating very unhealthy. Because, I'm always at work or I'm always at school. So I'm really just eating whatever is there, whatever I can buy and just eat quickly. So I started gaining a lot of weight. And really just the people there, it was like, I was talking to all these people in this warehouse. I was one of the youngest people there. A lot of the people there are like way older than me. I'm like 18 at the time. And just hearing like the conversations and stuff is like the people that were working there like had that mindset of like they were going to work there forever. Yeah. And I don't know. Something about me was just like, I'm not going to be here forever.
Right.
Even though I had nothing and I was broke at the time, I just knew I had a potential to do more. Yeah. And eventually I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm not working here anymore. Yeah. I'm getting another job. So I actually got a job at LA Fitness. Okay. That paid me less. So I was making $11 an hour.
Was it closer?
It was way closer. Okay. It was way closer, and I knew that I needed to get my health right. Right. But I didn't really have money like that, so I was like, let me work somewhere where I can get a free gym membership. Mm-hmm. It's not as taxing as this job right here on my body, and I can kind of get my life back together. Really. Right. So, and I had discovered eCommerce at the time. So while I was working at Amazon, I started seeing all these ads of like Ty Lopez. This is like the Ty Lopez era. Okay. And he was talking about eCommerce. Mm-hmm. And that got me curious, and I started just searching up like dropshipping, Amazon, and I started seeing all of these kids my age on YouTube that were killing it, like 16-year-old kids, 17, 18. And once I saw that, I knew that it was possible for someone like me to do it. And that's when I started going to networking events. I quit my Amazon job just so I could free up time for me to start pursuing this e-commerce thing. Mm-hmm. And when I went to a networking event, I actually met someone in person that was doing e-commerce. And that's kind of when
This is Shopify Ecom?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like drop shipping. Okay. And that's kind of like when everything changed for me, because seeing like ads of people being successful is one thing. But then meeting someone in person that's actually doing that, it makes it real for you. Mm-hmm. So when I met that person in person that was doing Shopify dropshipping, I was like, wow, like this is something that I could really do. Yeah. So, that day moving forward, that's all I put my attention towards. I'd literally be working the front desk at LA Fitness, have my phone out like this.
Yeah.
I'd put the scanners up just so people can scan themselves.
Yeah.
And I'd just be watching like dropshipping videos.
Dang.
And I would just start every check that I got from LA Fitness, I would throw it into Facebook ads.
Okay.
Literally, I was just burning money because nothing was working. So I was just burn money.
But then you're like,
money.
I know something's going to work. I know something's going to hit.
And I would see little success here and there. Like I would see like sales coming in, but not profitable. Like one sale come in, not profitable. And eventually, and it's crazy because I started with mentors so early on.
Yeah.
So I was like 19 at the time. Eventually, I took one of my LA Fitness checks and I reached out to a YouTuber. His name's Ari. And at the time, he only had like a couple hundred subs. He wasn't big. Now he has like 100,000. But this was like the early ages of dropshipping. So I reached out to him and I was like, yo, bro, how much would you charge me for like a coaching call to figure out Facebook ads? Because at the time, I didn't know how to run them.
Right.
And he only charged me like $50. I was like, all right, bet, let's run it.
Yeah.
And literally the day after he taught me how to run Facebook ads, I had my first $100 day with my store. And then that $100 day turned to a $1,000 day eventually. And I quit my LA Fitness job.
Yeah.
And literally I haven't worked a job since that job.
Amazing. So what I'm hearing too, just because this is a channel about education and entrepreneurship, what tweak did he Ari teach you that changed your Facebook ads to become profitable? Yeah,
it was literally, it's crazy because what he taught me was just how to set up a simple ad and how to target, you know, people in the US, people in Canada. He taught me that like worldwide targeting at the time wasn't that good. Just simple things. And really it was more so just the confidence. He gave me confidence because really I was running the ad kind of exactly how he was telling me, or I was like going to do it exactly how he was telling me, but I wasn't confident enough to press that run the ad button.
Oh, okay.
So it was more so really just learning from an expert and then just being confident in what he's teaching you because he has that past success.
Got you.
So,
and it sounds like you were running it way too wide.
Right.
And then like I try to tell people all the time, like more so even focus on target market. Unless you have an advertising budget the size of Coca-Cola, which is half the world's GDP, then you need to make your ad as precise as possible. That's how you actually save money because it's like, dropshipping is probably different, but even for like e-commerce, like why run ads to, you know, the UK and all this type of stuff when you're going to be spending $20 just to ship it? Doesn't make sense,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. You know, when you factor in the shipping costs and you're selling worldwide, you're losing money on a lot of those orders, depending on what your profit margin is. So that's kind of something he was putting me onto. And then, ever since then, I started doing $100 days. And I remember seeing the money come in while I'm at LA Fitness working. I'm like, dang, like I just made more money from my store being on for like 2 hours than I have on this 6-hour shift at LA Fitness.
Right. Yeah.
And like I could have made this money while I was at home.
Facts.
So that kind of like changed my mindset early on when I was younger to the fact that like you can make money in your sleep. Like if you know the proper systems, if you have the proper systems in place, like you don't have to be physically somewhere or clocked in to make money.
Right.
And that was important for me. You know?
Yeah. I mean, mindset's everything. And then even just going back to Ari, who helped you with the Facebook ads, like just an analogy, like one small tweak, like if an airplane's flying, it's like a degree off, it can literally land in a whole nother country. Right. So just the fact that you had someone come in there, tweak what you had going, it literally took you from possible failure to like proven success. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's crazy.
It's kind of what I was saying earlier too about like having a mentor when I was buying the real estate building. It's the same thing because if I were to have not had a mentor and bought a building, I could have lost a lot of money if I didn't buy the right one.
Right.
And then having this mentor help me run these Facebook ads, I lost a lot of money up to the point of that coaching call, running them, not knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
When I could have just paid $50 and saved the hundreds, if not thousands that I spent running them, not having the knowledge that I now have because he taught me how to run them.
So let's talk about another example of that, right? So the fact that you found this coach in a new space, right? Talking about real estate, and he helps you find the right space, right? What do you, like if you were looking on your own, what would you have done? Would you have just got on like LoopNet, looked for multifamily, possibly overpaid? Like what's some examples of failure?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done. I would have went on like LoopNet or like all like Crexy, like all these other websites that have like commercial properties, and I would have started like negotiating from there. But like a lot of these properties that are on these websites, they're already overpriced.
That's what I heard. I heard like if it's on there, it's not a deal anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Like literally my building that I bought, if it would have, I got it before it was on the market.
Yeah.
So I got it off market. But if it would have been on the market, it would have sold for more than what it appraised for. Like people would have spent $3 million on that building just because everything's overpriced right now that hits the market.
Dang. So, okay, let's get back into Ecom then. So for you, did working at Amazon have any effect on doing what you're doing with Amazon now?
At the time, not really. Not really, because when I was working at Amazon, I learned about e-commerce and I learned about Amazon FBA too. But I realized that you needed money to start Amazon FBA, and I didn't really have enough money to start.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about Amazon FBM like I do now, so that you can literally source products from local stores and sell them on Amazon. You don't need a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that at the time. But what I did know is that dropshipping was something that you could start with zero.
Yeah.
So I leaned more towards dropshipping rather than, I shied away from Amazon in the beginning.
What were some of your first dropshipping products?
Yeah, so like one of my first dropshipping products was this product called the Distance Bracelet. So it's a white beaded bracelet with one black bead on it, and then it's a black beaded bracelet with one white bead on it.
Okay.
And the whole concept is like you wear one, your significant other wears one, and now y'all are like infinitely connected. So you got these like yin yang bracelets on.
Gotcha.
So something I would never buy, but it's what it was viral. Like it was going viral at the time. So I was selling that, and I was actually selling it with a free plus shipping offer. So I was offering the product for free. The shipping was like $10.
Yeah.
The product only cost like $2.
Okay.
So we were running Facebook ads, getting like purchases at like $2.
Gotcha.
So we were making like $6 profit. Like around $6 profit every unit. And we ran up like over 6 figures just that one product.
Dang. Would you say now, because that was a different era, right?
Right.
Is Shopify drop shipping still good versus like Amazon drop shipping, which seems like it's better? Like, tell me what you think.
Yeah, so like we actually don't do Amazon dropshipping.
Okay.
We have inventory where we sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
I would say Shopify dropshipping definitely still works right now.
Yeah.
The game has changed. Like the Facebook ads is not as easy as it was.
Right.
You probably need to sell things like with higher profit margins, like at least like a $20 profit margin on whatever it is you're selling.
Right.
Because like you're probably not going to get $2 cost per purchase.
Now the gold mine days are gone. Yeah.
You might get like 5 if you're good, 6, 7. But probably 10 really on average.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need a higher profit margin.
For sure.
But yeah, it definitely still works. I know a lot of people that still kill it. My students still kill it.
Yeah.
But Amazon is a lot easier in my opinion.
Got you.
You know, I have my little brother, he's 15 years old. So he's hasn't even graduated high school yet. He makes over $5,000 a month on Amazon.
Dang, profit.
So profit, he's doing like 50% margin.
Okay,
so it's
nice.
Like $2,500 a month profit while he's in high school.
Amazing.
And all he has is a Costco membership and an Amazon seller account that's $40 a month.
So since he has a Costco membership, does he actually go and buy it and ship it himself to the Amazon, or is he buying it from online Costco?
Yeah, so Costco membership, $60 a year, Amazon account, $40 a month. All he does is he drives to Costco. My mom actually takes him because he can't even drive yet. So he goes to Costco and he just scans products with the Amazon seller app. In the app, it has a calculator. You just enter what you're buying the product for, and it calculates all the fees for you. And it tells you exactly what your profit margin is before you buy it. And literally, he's just buying pallets, pallets of things, keeping them in his basement, and then he's shipping them off himself to the customer. This is FBM.
Okay.
Now,
what's FBM stand for?
FBM stands for fulfillment by merchant.
Okay.
So you're the merchant. If FBA is fulfillment by Amazon, so he could do FBA if he wanted to, and the only thing that would change is instead of him shipping it to the customer, he would ship it to Amazon. Okay. And then Amazon would hold the inventory, and then whenever the customer would buy, Amazon would ship it to the customer. Okay. This would bring the profit margin down because Amazon's going to take more fees. But FBA only makes sense when you have like a bunch of units, like thousands of units. But if you're not really selling that many units or you don't have that many units, it makes more sense to just ship it yourself because you make more money.
Got you. Right. So when you're shipping it yourself, though, do you get like less traction because you're probably not showing up in Prime and everything?
Yeah, you get less traction, but you know you're still moving.
Yeah.
A good amount of orders. You know,
Got you.
He's probably sold. He gets like 10 orders minimum a day.
Got you.
So he's making like over $100 profit a day.
So he's just going to school, coming home, and shipping.
Yeah.
Nice. How did you get into the education space after like doing you? So you were working, you got on eCommerce, drop shipping. How did you start educating people about what you knew?
Yeah, so it's crazy. For some reason, like I documented my whole journey on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So like I've documented like me working at Amazon. I documented when I first started learning about like Shopify dropshipping and all this stuff, and like Ty Lopez, and just really just like mindset and just personal development. When I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich, I just started posting all the stuff that I was learning about.
Yeah.
And it wasn't with the intent to like grow a personal brand or like launch a course one day. I was literally just posting about it because I realized that this was like 2017. Mm-hmm. I realized that most of the people that followed me, most of my friends, didn't know about any of this information. Yeah. So I was really just posting it because I thought it was interesting. Right. And the people that followed me at the time probably were like, why is he posting this? Yeah. But yeah, I just documented everything. I would even go live and I would like show what I was working on in Shopify. I'd have like one person in my life, like two people in my life. And so I documented the whole journey all the way up to when I started making money. Yeah. And then when I started making money with Shopify dropshipping, people started like listening, like asking me like, yo, what books are you reading? Like, what are you watching? Like, obviously, you know, because now you're making money, right? Right. So, and then a lot of my friends started hitting me up so I could put them on, and I put all of my friends on for free. And then they started making tens of thousands of dollars with Shopify dropshipping as well. And once they started making money and I started posting all of that, I built like a lot of buzz on social media. Like I started gaining followers. Everyone from my old school, like high school, started hitting me up to teach them. Yeah. And it got to the point where like I just couldn't help everybody. Right. So I literally created the course out of just that necessity that I saw. And again, I didn't create the course with the intent of making millions of dollars. Yeah. I didn't even think it was possible to make millions of dollars with courses at the time. Yeah. I didn't know all of these people that I know now, like the Russell Brunsons. Like, I didn't even know that world existed. Yeah. So I literally just created a course. I Googled like how to create a course, like where to source it, where to host it. And I launched it and I started selling it for like $100, like $150. Cause you're like, I'm just trying to unload my plate so I can help the people that are like in my DMs asking me this, this, and that. I'm just trying to like, I don't want to help everyone one-on-one. I tried to do it, but then I was like, oh no, this isn't it. Yeah. And I was charging like $100 to help people one-on-one. Right. Like, let me just put it onto a program and like they can just buy it. And then like maybe like in my head, like I still wasn't really making that much money, like maybe like $2,000 a month with dropshipping, profit $3,000 a month. So like I was like, you know, maybe I drop this program and maybe I can make like $10,000 or something. Like, that'd be crazy if I could do that. Right. So I dropped it and then, you know, it started selling, it started doing well. And then eventually like that program, like just like that, just off me not running any ads, like nothing, just posting results and things. We started doing like $30,000 a month just off that program. Dope. So then, because when I met you, you were one of the first people that I even knew about anything with webinars, right? I didn't know the webinar world really existed because I feel like there's like two different types of worlds when it comes to webinars. You've got the corporate webinar, you know, where you just see like a post and it's like, oh, join us Thursday at 11:30 a.m. And then you got like this different world of webinars where it's like heavy hitters and stuff. So when did you say I'm going to go from just giving out this course? Because I think there's going to be webinar people on here that are watching this and I want them to be educated as well. Right. When did you go to like, okay, let me go to live teaching versus just the course? Right. So it's crazy because I knew about webinars all the way back in 2017. So I was attending them. I was attending them from all these other big e-commerce people. And I already saw what they were doing because I had a course out by then. Like 2018-ish, I then had a course out. And I would literally see people do these webinars and make $50,000 in one webinar. Like $70,000, $100,000 sometimes in one webinar. And I'd be like, wow, like that's crazy. Like, because I was always good at reverse engineering the play. Right. Like I was always good at seeing something and then being able to see how they were able to do it. So I saw that they were making money with webinars, but for some reason, I just never did them. I never thought that it could work for me.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was still very introverted. So I was like, this isn't really my style.
Yeah.
Like, having this high energy and like pitching on this video, like it's not really my style. So I kind of ignored it for the longest. And then, years go by. It's like 2020 now. I'm doing $30K a month with my program organically, just posting about it on social media, heavy word of mouth, student results, things like that. And then I found out about Neo. This was during COVID. I watched his podcast on social.
Everybody's on their phone watching YouTube, everything during
COVID. Right. So I think, this is like after COVID or during COVID. I saw his podcast. And he was talking about all the money that he was making with like digital products. And it hit me differently because I already had a digital product and I've had one for the longest. I've had one since 2018.
Before it was cool.
Yeah. And then he's talking about all this money that he's been making with digital products and how he even had them like before me, like way longer than I did. And, I started following him and I found out that he actually lived in Atlanta. I didn't know that. I didn't even know those Social Proof podcasts was like hosted in Atlanta. Yeah. And I was like, dang, all these entrepreneurs like live in Atlanta?
Yep.
Like, I didn't even know. Like, I thought
right here.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought I was like one of the few out there. I was like, oh, but then I realized like there's a lot of people out here. Yeah. So I started following Neo, and then he did a mastermind in Florida. Okay. And I just remember like knowing that I had to go to this mastermind. Right. It's the same thing that got me here was getting into rooms. Yeah. So now I need to get into this room. And it's a paid room. It was like $7,000 to go. Yeah. Which at the time, that was the most that I've ever spent to go somewhere. Right. But I knew that I had to pay that to level up. So I paid the $7,000 and I went to Florida for his mastermind. And one of the things that he taught was webinars. Yeah. And like I said, I already knew about webinars, but just paying that money and then hearing him say, do webinars, that was all I needed. Right. So I start going crazy. Yeah. It's like, all right, I paid to be here. You're making way more money than me. In my head, I don't think webinars really work, but you just told me that they work. So now it's like, now I'm going to do it.
Because you're probably seeing the webinars that I was talking about, like basic webinars or just whatever, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Now you're kind of seeing the back end of it.
And I'm seeing like the webinars that I'm telling you about that I was seeing that people were making money with. This is like in 2018. Yeah. Now it's 2020. In my head, I'm thinking like it's saturated now. Right. It doesn't work anymore. And that's why I didn't start doing them. Yeah. But then when Neo told me like, yo, this is still working, like people are making a lot of money doing this. Like I said, I'm real good at just listening to people that are doing better than me. So it's like, all right, no questions asked. Like, all right, I'm gonna start doing them. Yeah. And then I started doing them, and immediately my first webinar, I made like 12,000 in a day, which was more than I've ever made in a day.
How many people were in your first webinar?
It was like organic. I think I had like 200 people in there. Like 250 people in there, something like that. And we did $12,000 in one day.
Was the Ecom Degree University the offer?
Yeah, so $600 at the time.
Nice.
And then ever since that day, I just became obsessed with being better at webinars. So, like I said, bro, I have the same process for everything. So I started trying to figure out, okay, so who's the best at webinars? That's when I discovered like Jason Fladlien. I already knew about Russell Brunson, but then I started studying like just the webinar stuff he does specifically. And I started learning from them. Yeah. And then that allowed me to start improving my webinar, mainly from reading Jason Fladlien's book, One to Many. Yeah. And, now we're at where we're at today. We're doing like 250K days.
That's crazy.
200. Last Sunday we did 265K. We're doing $1 million months, and it all started with Neo just telling me like do webinars, and I kind of just took that and found out ways to like master that.
Yeah, you're literally the epiphany of what everyone's always talking about, right? And literally sometimes when we listen to a mentor, the information that we hear could be so top layer that it goes over your head, right? But it sometimes can be that easy. Like literally you are doing what they say. Get in the room, 1, get a mentor, 2, even if you get one piece of information, what that information can do. And you've shown people that, you know what I'm saying? Because you're a regular guy, you know what I'm saying? And you're killing it, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like I've always had that chip on my shoulder too, to where it's like, you see all these people with big personal brands, or you see all these people that get put on like in the industry. Like maybe they land like a big podcast, or maybe they land like a big like celebrity collab.
Yeah.
And they end up doing well with their program or whatever. And I've always kind of been like, I want to get to where they are, but I want to do it myself.
Facts.
And like, you know, I've been able to do that with like no cosign, no collab. And I say that because hopefully someone's watching this that doesn't have that big personal brand, or you don't have that cosign, you don't have that like big brand that you own or whatever. You know, you can get to $1 million a month too. Cause like you said, I'm a regular guy.
Yeah.
So
facts, man. That's crazy. So, cause I know the webinar people are still watching, people who are going to look you up.
Right.
And let's go into webinar world. What's the big difference between a Russell and a Jason? Because I kind of sometimes look at them like, and not to say I feel like who's better, who's not, or whatever, because, you know, they're friends, whatever. Like, you got Microsoft, you got Apple, you got Lyft, you got Uber, you know what I'm saying? Then they both have different frameworks. And you've studied them immensely, so what would you say?
So I would say that they're similar. Russell is more like storytelling. His webinars are going to involve more storytelling. Everything needs a framework, like whatever you're going to be explaining, like what's a good analogy for it to make it more simple for the audience? What's a good framework? What's a good story that you can tell to resonate with them? So Russell's big on like storytelling. A lot of his webinars don't really have value in them. Like it's a lot of like storytelling and breaking self-limiting beliefs. That's like Russell's style.
Yeah.
Like he believes that you don't really have to give away that much value on your webinars to convert people the way he does it. It's more about just like making the people in the audience believe that they can do whatever it is that you're showing them by crushing all the self-limiting beliefs.
Right.
Jason Fladlien is more so value driven. It's like you just give kind of all of it away. Yeah. And then he's like really good at closing. Yeah. And crushing self-limiting beliefs as well. He's real, like his framework is like I don't even have the word to explain it. Like it's so like precise and strategic and very there's a lot of psychology that is behind it. Yeah. That you would just have to watch one of his webinars or read his book really to know what I'm talking about.
What's the name of his book?
It's One to Many.
Okay.
But my webinar, if you watch my webinar, it's more Jason Fladlien than it is Russell Brunson.
Okay. Cool. Do you feel like Jason's like a master communicator? Like, is his transferable, or is he just a master communicator, like a Myron Golden is?
Jason is definitely like he's a master. Like you won't ever probably be able to get to his level. Yeah, just being honest. Right. You won't ever be able to touch him. Yeah. But if you study him, you can get real close. And if you get close, you're gonna be a killer.
Facts. So what was it like? Because I know people want to know this too. What's it like when you go, because it happened fast for you, when you go from I'm making a normal person money to now my business is just blowing up. I'm looking at an account and I have all this motion to move with. The pieces, there's pieces, but now the pieces are bigger. My expenses are huger. Like, what is that like dealing with mentally?
It's surreal, bro. It's like I said, I'm always surrounding myself around people that are doing more than me. So I've kind of learned to kind of be numb to that. Because I'm always like, even when I hit my $1 million month, it's like for a second, it's like I'm remembering like times that I would say like I want to hit $1 million in a month. Yeah. Kind of almost not believing myself. But then actually doing it is crazy. Yeah. But as soon as I hit it, it's like now I'm on to like, all right, how can we do 2 million?
Facts. Yeah.
And then I know people that are doing 2 million. So it's like I need to get to, so it's like I'm always chasing that next level. But I do have times where like I sit back and I reflect and I'm just like, wow, man, it's crazy. Even like driving my car, like I don't even have like a crazy car, but I have like a Tesla. Yeah. And even sometimes just driving my car, I'm like, damn, like I remember Ubering to like my job. Like, so I definitely have times where I reflect and I'm like, damn, it's crazy how far I've gotten here, or how far I've gotten, but it's like, it makes sense. Like I'm supposed to be where I'm at right now. Yeah. From like all the work that I've put in and the people that I surround myself with.
Yeah, I like that for sure. What I also like to, let's just tear down limited belief too, for the people that are like, oh, courses, webinars, this and this. Like you actually have a lot of value inside of the offer that you give, because a lot of times people sell courses and they're out, right? So one day, I follow your personal page. I went to your other page. I'm like, oh, there's activity on this. There's students in here. There are results in here. people are getting awards when they hit 100,000 on their store. Like, you're still involved with them after the sale, which is great.
Oh yeah, and that's the whole reason why we were even doing $30K a month before webinars. Right?
Yeah,
we were already doing pretty well. Some people would consider that pretty good. Yeah, that was with no ads, and it was because we had that before the ads.
Yeah,
the ads, like, really, to simplify it, all ads are is getting more eyes on what you're currently doing. Mm-hmm. So if what you're currently doing isn't good, running ads won't really do much for you.
True.
But if you're good at what you do and what you're currently doing is already, like, let's say you have a great product, then there should be no reason why you aren't running ads. Because if you have a great product and people like it, you shouldn't really be trying to figure out what the next launch should be or what you should do next. It's more so just getting more eyes on what currently is the best thing that you're doing or your best product.
True. So,
and I knew that, which is why I got into webinars and ads. Like, I knew my program was it. Like, I knew that I had something
you can see it
crazy.
too.
Yeah, like I knew that I had the best e-commerce program out there. I knew I had the best results. Mm-hmm. I knew I had, like, my award system was different. Like, no one was doing the plaques at the time. It was like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I have something. I just need to figure out how to get more eyes without working so hard. Because I'm literally pumping out content, hoping something goes viral, when you can just run ads and force yourself to go viral.
Got you. And let's be clear, it's for Shopify and Amazon, right?
Yeah, and that's another. We're the only e-commerce program that teaches Shopify and Amazon and has results in both.
Got you. Yeah, because I know I've been talking about, like, Amazon and stuff. I just want anybody watching, so they know if they're Shopify, they can jump in too. Yeah. What's you said you're getting a new office space, so, like, let's talk about Ecom Degree University expansion too.
Yeah, so we're probably getting an office in Atlanta, like an EDU headquarters. Mm-hmm. Main reason for that is because a lot of my team just moved down here, and I kind of wanted to just put everyone in one space, just for more collaboration and building, like, a team culture. But we're also going to start doing, like, in-person masterminds and coaching. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be somewhere where the office is going to be where I'll be able to host those.
Yeah.
And we're going to be building out a content studio there.
Okay.
So I want to take, like, YouTube more seriously and just take content to the next level. Yeah. So I'm going to be building out a content studio there and recording a lot of stuff there as well.
I think definitely, like we said, shooting for the Inc. 5000, you're going to definitely need an office, because even when I see some of, like, the bigger players in here, I see, like, they got the office, the sales team. Like, there's always different levels you have to, like, hit at different, times of growth. Right. So I definitely see that. Side note too, have you noticed, like, a lot of, like, the big dogs in this space, like, live in Florida? Like, it's funny because a lot of people and not even to hate on us here in Atlanta, like, there's a certain level of us here popping in Atlanta, but then when I notice, like, the big dogs, like Rudy Mayer, and all of them, they're all, like, in Florida. Have you ever noticed that?
What I noticed is they either live in Florida or they live in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. Yep.
All of, like, the big marketers that I know live in Austin, Texas. And that's also where the War Room Mastermind is based out of.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Dope. So I guess now, like, your succession is, we've talked about the e-com, we touched on the real estate, but is real estate the next future? Like, it's literally money goes from here, dump it into real estate.
I mean, I think probably for the next couple years, that's going to be what I'm going to do, because I want to accumulate, like, 500 units too. Yeah. So I want to take all of my money and dump it into real estate. That's also going to help, like, offsetting taxes. Yeah. You save a lot of tax when you put money into a building, and your money's always there too. Yeah. You can always refinance, get that money out. So that's going to be the play. But I also want to take Ecom Degree to, like, a $100 million company.
I think you can too, for sure. Yeah.
For sure.
What's the time scale on that?
Time scale, I want to do that by the end of 2023.
Okay, so quick. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Do you are you putting the money into real estate besides it even being smart? Like, we're always paranoid because we never feel like it's just always going to happen. Is that one of the reasons?
I mean, the thing with the strategy that my mentor told me is, like, regardless, I'm buying things at a discount. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really matter what the market does. Yeah. I bought my building at 2.6. It got appraised at 2.8. I could literally do nothing and sell it for more than what I bought it for. It'll always be worth 2.8. Right. So I think that's key. Just don't be risky. Make sure you're buying. You make money on the buy. So make sure you're buying right. And also, like, when it comes to, like, the real estate market, What falls usually is single family housing, houses like that, not multifamily.
Got you.
Because when prices go down and people start selling and people start moving out of their houses, they move into multifamily units, apartment complexes. So apartments usually just stay on the rise.
Got you. So you being a new multifamily owner, what are your new responsibilities and duties that you have now?
Yeah, now it's like hiring the same way that I set up systems and I hired people for econ degree. Now I got to set up systems and hire people to run Rivera Capital, which is a company that operates operates all the units. So you got to have a management team. Yeah. Because, it's not just 24 units, it's 24 families. Right. So you got to make sure that everything's smooth. If, let's say like water starts leaking or like heat goes off, whatever happens, you got to have a team ready to be able to go to that building 24/7. Doesn't matter what time it is. Right. And fix that issue.
Was it like a super quick change? Like you bought it and then it's like, all right, the other property management is gone. Now I'm like, the next day I'm getting phone calls to fix stuff.
Nah, so I haven't dealt with that yet because the closing hasn't happened. But if we're talking about like the quadplex and stuff, the quadplex, I have property management, but I have property management for the quadplex because it's in Cincinnati. Gotcha. So I kind of need a team in place over there. Right. For this Atlanta one or Conyers one, I'm gonna build my own management team. Okay. But as far as like the Cincinnati one, we've had things happen like appliances break, like refrigerator breaks, or like stove stops working, or toilet stops working. So we've had repairs like that, but nothing major. And we have a property management team. It's as easy as them just letting you know what broke, and then you just text them like, all right, let's fix it.
Got you. So for just curious, like new operating expenses, right? Have you had to like come out of pocket to like do any of those expenses, or the rent just covering it?
So for the quadplex where I have repaired things, the cash flow of the property covers all the expenses. Okay. So, perfect. So you have months where maybe you were supposed to cash flow a profit $1,500, but maybe you only made $500 because you had to spend $1,000 on certain things. But I've never come out of pocket though.
Got you. So another thing that I guess I'm curious about too, like you're making all this internet money, right? So what's it like when you get into the real estate and now it seems slower? You're like, oh, I make $1,500. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's exactly why I got into, that's why I jumped from a 4 unit to a 24 unit.
You need more doors, right?
Yeah, most people, they'll buy like a quadplex and then buy another quadplex and then maybe buy a 5 or a 10. Yeah. But for exactly what you just said, because I see a substantial amount of income a month from my online business, the quadplex just isn't as exciting. It's like $1,500 a month is cool, but it's not going to change my life. Exactly. So I got to play bigger games. Yeah. Take bigger risks. So that's why we bought the 24 unit. Because now we're talking, people are paying $1,000 a month in rent. That's $24,000 a month. Yeah. By the time we're done with the renovations and everything, it's going to be like $1,300 a month. So that's like around $33,000 a month in rental income. And the properties, we bought it for 2.6. It should be worth 3.8 when it's done. Ooh. So then you can, refinance $1 million out, put it in your pocket, and cash and keep the building and cash flow $30K a month. So like those types of projects are things that I want to work on.
Yeah, I like that too. What's like just average like a profit on that? Like you got 24 units, right? Right. And then if you're cool with it, can we get into numbers? Yeah. Okay, so like a 24 unit, if someone's interested in getting into that, like how much down deposit is that?
So down payment. So you would need like 20% down. Okay. So whatever 20% down is, of 2.6 million. We sent 300,000 in just earnest money. Yeah. Usually people don't put that much down on earnest money.
Earnest, like you could lose it.
You could lose it. Yeah. But because we're so aggressive in our earnest money, we literally sent 300K earnest money, no due diligence. Yeah. Like we're just ready to.
Was that a trick you learned from your mentor?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Because that's how you're able to get the price down and acquire these properties and win the deal over someone that may be offering 2.7. I'm offering 2.6. Yeah. But I got 300K in the game.
They know you're serious.
He's saying he's only going to send 50K. He's scared. I'm not scared. I'm going to close. He might not close. Right. So that's how we're able to win deals.
What is the process of closing from commercial versus personal? Because I know like with personal, it's, they want your blood type. They're looking through everything, like very detailed. Is it different on multifamily and commercial?
Yeah. So multifamily, they kind of want to see like track record, like what else do you own, credit, They want to see your plan. Like, you actually got to show them, like, look, this is what I'm trying to do with the building. This is how much the rehab's going to be. This is when I feel like I'm going to be done with it. This is how much it's going to be worth. Like, you really got to run the numbers.
Yeah.
Like, it's more so you got to show them the numbers and show them that you're going to be able to pay off this $2 million loan.
Right.
Because they're not just going to give you a $2 million loan if they feel like you're not capable of doing the job.
Yeah. What type of banks approve multifamily?
So you got to use like private lenders.
Okay.
So we use like private lenders. We don't really use any like big banks.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Big banks probably focus more on like single family and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can get you can use big banks for multifamily, but I feel like it's just gonna be a harder process. You gotta have a good relationship with that bank.
Right.
You gotta have money in there. Maybe like have your mortgage with them, and then maybe they'll give you a loan for
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Dope. So shoot, I mean, we're at 54 minutes. I don't even know if I have any more questions. You got anything you want to tell?
Hey man, all I gotta say is, listen, if you're watching this right now and you got some value to give, I definitely recommend you to package it into a course and teach people. The live webinar method is literally what amplified my business, 10x my business, literally changed my life. So I encourage you to get into that. And I just want to say that to you guys watching, because you may need someone to tell you for you to get to that next level. And now if you're watching this and you don't want to get into the course business, or you don't think you have any value to give right now, I recommend you to get into e-commerce, whether that's Amazon or Shopify. That's how I literally got started. So, if you want to learn how you can do that, I host a free training every Sunday. Just go to www.ecomdegreeworkshop.com. We'll put the link in the description too.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can attend and you can learn there as well.
Dope. So if somebody's watching this and they got an immense amount of value that they think, and they were like, they have something to offer to Ecom Degree University, how do they get in touch with you? What types of people are you looking for that like help you with things, or is that even available?
So yeah, if you're watching this and you do already have value, like let's say you're a successful real estate agent, or you're a successful, maybe you have an event space, you're successful, or you do credit and you're successful in that. We actually also have a service. It's called Modern Day MBA, and we actually help course creators scale to 100K a month or beyond.
Okay.
With webinars.
Nice.
So that's something that I've been doing, and I have a couple clients. It's more like a friends and family thing right now. We have like 8 clients that I've worked with simply because I know them, and it's just something that I've offered to them. But if you're watching this right now and you want to do that, you can contact me via email. It's will@moderndaymba.co. We can see if we can work together.
Got you. So that's super exclusive. Like we're no link, just
super exclusive.
So we'll just put the email in there.
You gotta be good at what you do.
Yeah.
You gotta be good at what you do.
Dope. And then so this is my guy Will. Appreciate it, Will. Anybody watching this, make sure that you guys definitely tap in, learn from this guy, because I feel like the reason why he's on this show is because he's just like you. I promise you that somebody that literally had any regular job, was going through situations, tough times, going through his own season himself, and then figured out that it really takes me to invest in myself, apply it in myself so that I can execute. And then now, just a few years later, doing over $1 million a month. Like, let's just shoot. What do you think you could probably crack in a 12-month with the rate that you're at right now?
I mean, we're definitely going to do, I think by the end of this year, we'll do 10 million.
10 million? Yeah. So you're going for the X award for sure, aren't you?
Yeah.
So to someone who's literally like about to crack 10 million, y'all, I promise you guys that you guys can do it too. And that's a wrap. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video, and we're out.